I'm live. Well, I hope I'm live. Oh, might want to brush my hair and get purty for y'all if you go showing up. Yeah, no, I didn't give nobody no heads up. But here I is. Well, I got one that joined me. Howdy, whoever you are. Okay. Jim Dunn, first one in. Imagine that. My number one Yankee. There's Grant. He's in. What's going on, Grant? Oh, goodness. I didn't figure I'd get on tonight, but I'm here. I just had dinner with Grandma. What up, Trucking? Rico, what's going on? I had an interesting meet today. What up, son? Nomad, good to see you again, brother. Had an interesting meet today. I stopped to fuel, and I might as well keep them. I can't read that nonsense without them. And I can try to get the steering wheel out. Highway Runner, what's going on? Living the dream in Dallas. Oh, I hear you. How's that school going up there? Hopefully good. Today nothing much. Trucking Stone, he's in school up there. So he's new to trucking. Poor feller found my channel before he made it in there. It's going well. Unfortunately, I was one of the few that came prepared. Dude, I can relate. Now, I did go to truck driving school. I went for J.B. Hunt. I'll admit it. And I literally could back up better than the instructor. And the stuff, for the most part, was common sense. So, I'm doing fine, brother. How you doing, Andrew? I got to have dinner with Grandma on the way down, so you can't beat that. You should tell your classmates about his channel so they can learn something. Well, either learn or get confused. But anyway, I stopped to fuel today. Seen a young man that was fueling up in a hotshot rig. Oh, I went over to chat with him. I was actually wanting to get some information for Michael. He's toying with the idea of getting into hotshot. And me and him got shooting the bull, and I started telling him about my channel, and he's like, I know you. I used to watch your videos before I got in on this. So then before I left, he had to get a picture with me. Boy, my head started swelling up. I don't know if he even got in it because my head got so big. You know, I'm a sensation now. Sorry I didn't answer you last night. Ended up falling asleep. Dude, that's cool. I mean, here it is, what, 9-something Central Time. That's, he says, I have, Joseph. I can't help stupid. So, son, he has told him about the channel, but some things you just can't help. I understand. Yeah, it's 9:12 Central Time, East Coast. That's 10:12. My son should already be in bed. You know, them kids got to go to bed early. So, Jim's in Laredo tonight. Got to do a 34 reset. Tomorrow, what do I do for fun out of here? Stay out of jail. That's an easy town to get shot in, get stuff you don't need, and go to jail. So if you accomplish all of that, you did good. Where you at? Out there at the Flying J or something? So, Oh, dadgum. Had me a big old meal. Well, it wasn't too big for a big boy. At the TA, boy, you ain't got no taste. TA used to be good back in the day. They ain't so good anymore. Now, that boy of mine that's on here, now, grant you, he's a veteran. You know, he as close as you can get. He was in the Air Force. We cut him a little slack. Now, he grew up riding around in the truck. He's, what are you, son, 34 or something now? And stay in your truck and don't venture out. Well, now, some of them roach coaches that set up over there by the Flying J are pretty decent now. You can get some authentic stuff. But, hey, you Marines love coming to our base. Yeah, that ain't no lie. They catered to y'all like y'all bunch of sissies. Man, and y'all's chow hall compared to Marine Corps, shoot. We had to go, there in the Philippines, we had to go up to Manila to the Air Force base to do the dental stuff. And yeah, buddy, we all loved going up there. Let's see, I just stay at our terminal until it's time to go when I'm in Laredo, in and out of town when possible. Okay, you're 36 now. I was close. Yeah, Clark Air Force Base. Yeah, we loved going up there. So anyway, Joe and his siblings, they grew up riding around in a truck. And that boy, he would sleep. Oh my Lord. He was worse than a puppy dog or a baby. Truck was moving, that boy was sleeping. Then as soon as he heard them air brakes set, he was up and he was ready to go play video games. Video games was a big thing then. So I'd give him $2 or $3 and I'd go to sleep. At least back then I feeling him. American Nomad, you'll be 36 in June. Joseph's not my oldest child, but he is my oldest son. His brother that I lost, he was 34. He's 2 years younger than you, right, Joe? So he would have been 34 this year. Got you by 6 years, has he? You was wondering about sleeping in a truck, moving truck. Actually, it depends upon your co-driver, dude. If you and your co-driver will learn how to drive with somebody sleeping in the back, and it's not that hard. When you see a bridge coming up, all bridges, getting on them and off, are rough. Right before you hit it, act like it's got ice on it. You'll learn in winter driving stuff that when you go to hit a bridge, they ice first. All the signs tell you that. That's the only way I learned. Thank you, Bill Clinton. Them bridges are icy, and you let off your throttle just before you hit them. Now, you do that in the winter on the ice so that your tires don't start spinning and you spin out, lose traction, do stupid shit. So you just let off of it and you coast onto the bridge and across the bridge if possible. And same thing for when you're exiting it. If you will use those practices when you have somebody sleeping in the bunk, it helps a lot. I team drove the most with my brother, trying to teach him how to drive. Like you said, you can't pick stupid. And he's still a lousy truck driver. But he would not let off of it at all. He's always gassing on it and just beating me to death. Hey, Al, what's going on? This thing quit rotating. Don't sleep on the top bunk. That's true. That's something else you two would have to learn to agree on. You don't sleep on top bunk in case they take out a low bridge. You don't want to be up there. You want to be on the bottom. So you need to have it so that whenever you're driving, somebody's driving, you're sharing the part sack on the bottom bunk, not the top bunk. Good advice there, Grant. Let's see. Heard that thanks to the Panhandle of Texas. I learned some of that stupid stuff the hard way. Hopefully my co-driver will pay attention. Good luck. Little Joe, Jim Dunn's talking to you. But he's a homosexual. Don't mind him, son. To be politically correct, we have to put up with him. Oh, decent looking Freightliner there. Oh, no, that is a Peter car. But I think I passed him on the road. Let's see. I got so good at sleeping in the truck, I could sleep in the passenger seat looking out the window. Dad would get mad when I fell asleep there and send me to the bunk. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. All educated. He's about to get his master's degree here in a few months. You all know that. I'm always talking about it. But see, that goes to show that a piece of paper don't make you smart, and it don't give you common sense. Take that one, son. And he likes trying to trash Daddy. I got news for him. I got plenty of schooling. Some of it was actually in school. How am I tonight? I'm doing fine. Oh, who was that? Shane? Yep, Shane. How are you doing, bro? Why isn't this dadgum thing rotating? Common sense. What's that? No doubt. It's a lost art. Oh. I can see it's going to be an interesting night between my son and Jim Dunn. Oh. Well, I got here to my receiver, and there's actually someone in there. He's not going to unload me, but I'm trying to get a jump start on tomorrow. And they had my regular dock door open here. Yeah. Military intelligence, that's an oxymoron, son. Oh. He's about got that schooling whooped. I was starting to wonder if he was going to whoop him. You're out of the shop? That mean you trucking? Why in the hell would you fire off a stair like that? I hope none of y'all do that. Alright, Nomad, be careful, brother. Let me know how that truck does. He's been in the shop like 5 or 6 days. I think he went in Thursday or Friday of last week. Oh my, I know. I used to turn them up too, but it wasn't quite like that. Ah, Jim, it ain't a matter of deciphering, it's a matter of learning you how. Oh. Finally made it. Hope is all is well, Joe. Oh, it's doing good. It's doing good. I am slightly concerned about how much data this live streaming or stream living or whatever they call it. I am concerned about how much data that's going to be using up on my phone. I do not try to hook into local Wi-Fi's. That stuff scares the dickens out of me, and I ain't going to do it. Sitting in Paris, California. Load should be ready in about 30 minutes. Heading to Topeka, Kansas. There ain't a whole hell of a lot in Topeka. But the best thing came out of California with me, and I'm trying not to go back. I picked up my footprints. I didn't want to have no reason to go back. Let's see, how many times will you take those glasses off and put them back on, Dad? until this video's over. I can't hardly read that. It's on my phone. I can't get that. We need to talk about that tomorrow. When you get your little sissy butt up and got a minute. I can't do this live streaming stuff off my tablet. That don't make no sense at all. So, no, I don't have unlimited. With me traveling around the country like I do, no, I don't have unlimited. And that unlimited stuff, I found out that after you use just a few gigabytes or whatever they call it, it slows down. I tried that once. They talked me into it. And I called them up and raised a big old fuss with them, and they put me back on my old plan. I've got like 52 or 54 gigabyte or some nonsense, a whole bunch. Making these videos and uploading them, it takes a bunch. So, I'm looking to get into the trucking industry. Really enjoy your videos and advice. Well, the best advice I can give you, don't get into it. It's a hard life. If you want to have a real life, you ain't going to have it in trucking. And I'm not being a smart ass. Your opinion on Kenworth trucks, I love them. The W9 is my favorite truck. So, let him get by with his cart. Jason, ask him any question you have. Well, sure. Well, most of them. No, I'm not available. Let's see. Hey, Papa Joe, I've been watching your videos and love your wisdom on life. I have never commented on the videos, but thought this was a good opportunity to say hi. Not a trucker, just like your videos. Well, thank you, dear. What was your name? I ain't going to try to pronounce it and make you mad. So I'll just call you dear. I'm a southern man, so don't get offended by me calling you dear or honey. But yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy them. Truck and stone, it's a very different lifestyle. That's a fact. And a lot of people, they come out here with a misconception. They think it's an easy life, and this is not an easy life out here. If you have children and stuff, don't count on going to the PTO or going to any of their ball games and all that. You're going to be trucking. And the dispatchers, they're going to tell you how they're family orientated with that company. Well, it's for their family, not your family. So it's a very hard lifestyle out here. I ain't going to lie. Well, my son's on there. He can tell you, I missed a lot of his stuff growing up. And luckily, he hasn't held it against me, and we have a damn good relationship now. We struggled when he was first getting out on his own until he started learning what being a dad was about. And we've grown real close. Thank God. Let's see, it's very different. Yeah, especially OTR. He calls everyone dear but his wife. That's right. My wife is baby. She's the only one I call baby. So, you ain't got to worry about me calling you baby. I'll call you dear and darling and everything else. And she calls me baby, and she don't call no... Well, yeah, she calls some of the grandbabies baby, and I give her a fuss over it. He says, yes, ma'am, to her. Well, of course. Such as your classmates, I assume you are talking about them not having common sense or not realizing what it's going to be out here. That's probably true. He says, I hear you. I've been looking into it a few months. I'm wired differently. I think it's for me. The biggest thing, the easiest way to tell if it's for you, do you like being alone? Are you a loner? You know, not necessarily a hermit, but are you one of these that don't have to talk to people and have people around you and be the center of attention and get attention and all that? If you don't need any of that nonsense, then trucking might be for you. That's like American Nomad there with his, nomad. That means you're traveling. Your house is on your back. And that's exactly what you have to be to be into trucking and be successful at it, in my opinion. Yeah, you tried when you worked with Swift. You tried to get me go to Swift. That's when you was at your maddest at me. It took you going to Iraq to get your head straight. Well, that helped. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up with y'all here. They don't have a clue starting from this week. I'm out of here for another 6 weeks minimum. So your school 6 weeks long? That's a lot longer than most of them. I thought most of them anymore was only 2 or 3 weeks. If you said go drive for 11 hours and don't talk to anyone, sound like heaven to me. Well, it's almost like that. But then you got to sleep 10 hours and get up and drive 11, sleep 10 hours and drive 11. Oh, and driving these trucks, I know we say that they're a lot like the cars, and this is actually a lot nicer and smoother riding than some of them old junkers I rode on back in the day. But it still takes a little bit of work, and these things will work on your body. Oh, let's see. School is only 3, Papa. It's a test passing course. That's all of them are anymore. They just teach you a little bit about driving, just enough to pass your CDL. Then they pass you off to a school that don't have a clue about training you. I got a young friend, Austin, that he got his CDLs on his own, and he wound up, who'd I tell y'all was? Warner, I think he went with. And he's having a hard time finding anybody, a real trainer to train him. They're all wanting to use him as a co-driver. You got your CDLs, let's go. And that ain't right. That ain't training. Let's see. I heard your video on the lack of training these days for truck driving. I worry about that when I'm on the road with trucks. Honey, so do I. Just today, I seen 2 different ones that almost took out four-wheelers in front of me. I don't know if they're texting. I don't know what they're doing. One of them, he just started coming on over, no signal light or nothing, and that guy's plumb on the shoulder. I'm very concerned. That's why you hear me tell people, especially my wife, I don't worry about my driving. I'm paying attention. It's the other guy that I worry about. They're the ones that sneak attack you. Kamikaze, that's what he was doing today. I've seen that twice today. Let's see. He tried to convince me to become a teacher for a Texas college. That's true, he did. He was looking up all kinds of driving schools around me. But they didn't want to pay enough. And they probably wouldn't like me when I got there. I had experience. You're addicted to trucking for the most part? Let's see. Okay, that's Nomad. Love 80% of it, but the 20 I hate, really hate. Yeah, I understand. And Joe's asking you, how do y'all think I'd be for an instructor at a driving school? I could be scary. I'd be strict. Oh. If they would only pay something. He had found one, I don't know, about 80 miles from my house. But they want me to start out part-time. I can't afford no part-time. Let's see. I picked a truck stop 5.5 hours from my house and drive back 11 hours to see if I could do it. And I haven't had a problem doing it yet. Well, then go rent you the biggest U-Haul you can and get the biggest trailer that you can and drive that sucker about 11 hours due north. Stop and sleep across the front seat and turn around and drive back after only 10 hours. Now remember, you're on a time schedule. So, you know. And even that ain't going to get you ready for what you got to do out here. Yeah, they do use you as a co-driver. I tell you now, like I told Austin, don't be bashful. The companies are using y'all. They're not paying you as much as they do a regular driver and all that. So in that sense, you are paying them for this training. And like any other product, if you pay for it, you want what you're paying for. Well, you're paying for an education by driving so damn cheap. Make them give you your education. If that trainer ain't doing his job, don't stay out there and shortchange yourself. Call the company and let them know, yo, this ain't working. I want a real trainer. This guy ain't a trainer. He ain't. Austin had to change about 3 different ones, but he thinks now he's got a good trainer. No, semis ain't a smooth ride. And if you got the load on there wrong and you don't know how to axle out right and balance your load, buddy boy, it will beat you to death. I mean, big time. You think you're in the rodeo. Hey, Sean, you did make it tonight, brother. What's going on with you? Now, he's at work. He's a factory worker. He's on break right now. He's been trying to catch us. The schools need strict. A lot of them are useless. Mine was crap. Well, mine wasn't necessarily crap, but it was damn near 30 years ago. So, it was a little bit of a different color. When is the last time you were dock theft? Ain't sure what you're asking. I have never been ripped off out here. Now, once in the truck stop in the little town I was in Georgia, they broke into my trailer, and I had a lock on. If you look at the handles on these, they're nothing but an alloy, and I had a damn good lock on. They didn't even try to cut the lock. The 2 little metal pieces that you put the lock through, they just cut that and snapped it right off. Of course, with the load I had, they didn't get nothing, but it created a lot of hassle for me. Do you think the trucking industry will be taken over by driverless truck in the future? I'm 21 years old, so I feel like it may affect me if I would get into it. Well, it definitely would affect you. I don't think driverless trucks are going to be really working it for quite a while. There's still too many bugs in it. They've done had 2 or 3 of the cars and one truck that have wrecked. So, and you know how the safety stuff is. If there's 1 death, that's 10 too many. And my understanding, that little car, I forget that, a little expensive rascal. From my understanding, people did die in that one. So that means everybody's going to take a second look at it and a hard look at it. That being said, if you go ahead and go get into it so that you have experience under your belt, even with the driverless trucks, humans are going to have to get in them trucks and maneuver them around the cities and all that. There's no way in any of these big cities can you see a manless truck that's operating off of sensors in LA. Has anybody been to LA? It ain't gonna, your bumper to bumper, that truck ain't gonna move. It's gonna be just sitting there. And as soon as a little bitty hole opens up, somebody else gonna dart into it. Any of your major cities are basically the same. So it's going to take a human in that seat to deliver the load and go pick up the next one. And I don't think it will hurt us a whole lot more than the trains did. The trains started taking on a lot of freight, and we all fussed and just thought we was in a world of hurt. And they ain't hurt us that bad. Let's see what else we got going. Jason, that's another 15 to 20 years. Cousin works for Tesla. That's the car I was talking about, however you pronounce that. Europe is having a hard time with the driverless. Exactly, it's going to be a little bit. We've had a couple of them here in the States on trial runs, They had one run in Denver out there in Colorado. I think that was an Anheuser-Busch load. Just 2 or 3 months ago, they had one run coast to coast, was my understanding. I didn't see an article about it. I've just heard about it. But I would still hope to be in trucking in 20 years. So, well, I hope you are. Let's see. You're right. I'm at work on break. Out here smoking a cigarette, and I'm doing good. Good deal, little brother. Good deal. I'm tickled to death you can catch tonight. But you need to quit that smoking. It's bad for you. You hear this voice? You already hear me climbing in and out of this? Well, no, that's because of my hip. Oh, my hip's out and it's giving me fits. Yes, I'm looking for sympathy there. I mean, someone stole your dock door. That does happen, but not too often. And I'm not a little feller, and they tell me I can be a little bit intimidating when I get mad. So I have a tendency to go up and say, you need to move your ass. So, but a lot of times when that happens, to be honest with you, you will find out it ain't the driver. It was the people inside assigning doors, and they put 2 drivers in the same dock at the same time. So if that does go happening to you, talk nicely with the driver and find out, and you'll probably find out that it was a mistake on the inside. Imagine that. Let's see. Hunts Point, New York, if you get robbed. Right? I ain't been up there in forever. Actually, I can tell stories about Hunts Point, or a story. Papa just said exactly what my cousin told me. It's a great time to start getting experience. You are correct. You're ready to get away from L.A.? You're still too close? I hear you. Hell, I'm too close to L.A. and I'm in Houston. Oh, I can't stand that state. It ain't as bad as it used to be, folks. Seriously, back in the 80s and 90s and stuff, oh, they was a nightmare out there. That was the most anti-truck state I ever seen them. They're worse than Ohio. I would hope to at least specialized loads would still stay with humans. More than likely they will. And that's the way to go. If you're thinking that way, that's the way to go. Is even if you're new in trucking, you need to set your goals for what you want to do. And yeah, heavy loads, oversized loads, that's the way to go. You got to earn it. They ain't going to just give it to you. You got to earn it. Yep, exactly, Sean. Exactly. Let's see. What do you think about truckers using drugs so they can get where they need to be on time? Honey, that's so far in the past. It really is. Yeah, I'm sure there's a few crackheads out here and stuff. I mean, you know, they're everywhere. All the drug stuff, most of that was TV drama. Now, I ain't gonna lie, there was a little bit of nose candy out here, a little chicken feed, a little road candy. But that stuff went out 20 years ago. When they started drug testing so much, that stuff pretty much went out the door. And I haven't been offered to share anything, or I ain't been asked to buy anything. Oh, Lordy, 15 plus years. So that thing's pretty much, other than the rare occasion, that's pretty much gone out here. And with these ELDs, you'd be a fool to be doing it, because then it's time for you to sleep and you're going to be going nuts wanting to run. I'm going to plug this in. Hopefully it don't disconnect it. Let's see here. Roar, smokers breathing. It's okay, Papa. I cut the habit last year after 12 years. Well, I hear you. Sean smokes 2 packs a day, and he's a factory worker. Can't even smoke in the factory, I imagine. Got your daddy trucker disease, have you? You saw that happen? What, son? You seen them put too many people in the door, that happens too damn often. I stole your door by accident. Oh, okay, that's who you are. All right, cool beans, brother. And then, was I not lying? We found out she put us both in that same damn door, and I didn't come up to you raising a fuss, did I? And then we found out that she had gave us both the same. That's cool, man. I appreciate you reminding me. Yep. And you did find my channel, and you've been on there. That's cool. What's the most annoying thing four-wheelers do from a trucker's point of view? I can tell you real simple. It's when they block you off and they finally get around you to get off in a half mile or less. You know, they'll get over here and they'll stay on your trailer tandems for a mile or more, which that's the worst thing to be, is on a... You don't want to be by trucks, big tires. When them suckers explode, I guarantee you, you're going to have to change your britches. But they play all this nonsense, and then they'll gas on it at the last minute and grab that exit. Oh, that's annoying. It's dangerous, stupid, and annoying. Let's see. You are correct, Trucking Stone, even though he's got the name Stone. The hair test ain't as common as you would think, simply because it's still expensive, but more and more of them are using it. Most of them are still doing pop tests, random tests on urine. But if you keep going back to the well, you'll get caught. Everything four-wheeler doing is annoying. They don't know what a turn signal is and like to pass on the right and cut you off. Dude, I pass on the right. There's too damn many trucks that don't know to stay in the right. That's something truck drivers do that annoy me. Now, if you're in the city and there's a lot of ramps and a lot of traffic coming on, I understand it. But we'll get out there on stretches where there's nothing, and they force me to pass them on the right. Or if you're in like Texas, where certain areas you can't be in the left lane, now I got to risk getting a ticket to get over here to get around your 65-mile-an-hour truck. Yeah, truck drivers can be very annoying too. Oh, yes, they do random like crazy. Let's see. I don't get why cars cut in front of the semi when they are coming back into the right lane when they have a ton of room. Buddy, trucks do that too. And when they do it in the rain, it's very annoying. It's that's why a lot of times when you see a truck pass one of us, and then they cut right over just like a damn four-wheeler, and that's part of their training, see? Now we're going back to that training in school where nobody taught them. Now, if there's somebody right on their butt, then yeah, come on over if you've got to. But they don't know any better. The truck drivers don't know any better. They think they're driving a damn car. They just ain't been trained worth nothing. And I think, if anything, now the government kept hollering about they was going to push more training. Drivers need trained better. Well, they hollered all that during all this electronic log debate and all this nonsense. I ain't seen it happening. You know, they have set down guidelines and qualifications you got to do to get your CDL, but they have not made these companies man up and train right. And how are you going to do that? You know? And the government can only have so big a hand in the business. And it's real easy to holler they want or they should and all this. But then you got people like myself. I want smaller government. I want less control. This is something that we need to correct. You know? Let's see here. Jim, he says, I've yet to come off of the drugs since I've been driving. Why do you think I'm bouncing off the wall so much and getting towed? Because you're an airhead. You're a damn Yankee. They're in a hurry to die? That ain't no lie. Let's see. Hope you've been good, Papa. Dude, I am. I've got, had a few issues to work out with the company, but we've got them worked out. I'm running my butt off and getting the miles that I need and getting home every weekend. If I remember correctly, you're out of California, you and your whole family. There's his dad's a trucker, and a bunch of their friends are truckers, so he's come from a trucking community. Head rocking candy, LOL. Dad done to stay up back in the 80s and 90s. Trucking seen a lot of it back then with him. Well, that's what I'm saying. Back then, yeah, that's true. But it's pretty much a thing of the past now. If you're out here on any kind of road candy, I guarantee your time's limited. You know, you're going to screw up, they're going to catch you or something. There's a damn Penske truck over there that his cab lights and the top lights, it's like a U-Haul truck. They're just flashing. They're slowly getting dimmer. I'll be glad when they go out. Oh, let's see. Hey, that's my name, not just call sign. Right. So your name's Trucking? Gotcha. Let's see. Dad, do you think the Highway Watch program was successful after 9/11? No, I do not. Simply because they tried forcing it on us. I was in Georgia at that time, and I was starting with Champion when they started forcing us to take that, and I'm a rebel by nature. You try to force nonsense on me, and I'm going to bow up on you and say no. And I was forced to get that, and I told him, you ain't going to force me to do shit other than take your silly little test. Well, he took the test for me, but and handed me my card. Gee, thank you. I said, I still ain't playing. I don't like being forced. Oh, let's see. All about the money. They will hire anyone to move freight. That's the truth. Luckily, old man Ray at school is teaching some good things like this subject. Excessive lane changing, riding in the right lane, following distance. Well, those are all good things. Hopefully people are listening. But from what you were saying about your classmates, I got my doubts. What's up there, MK? Hope you're doing... Papa Joe, hopefully you're doing okay. Just to let you know that I enjoy your videos. Well, thank you. I'm glad you do. Share the word. Time for me to check on my load. Ha ha. Good luck, God bless, and stay safe. Dude, get your butt out of California. Damn, get where there's some real people. What's the wildest experience you've had while trucking? Huh. I have to think about that one a minute. Time for you to hit the sack. You got to get up at 5 a.m. Well, I appreciate you checking in there, Trucking Stone. Stay off the stuff, man. You be safe. Keep me informed how your school's going. Any first-time company recommendations you have? Not really. Having kids in my truck, that was an experience. Some of them experiences I can't share on here. This is Family Channel. Oh, wait a minute. No. I had the same car hit me twice. Now that was kind of interesting. If you watched last night's video, I was telling you about when I hydroplaned and jackknifed the truck. That was interesting. I guess some of the most fun that I had was when me and my best friend Porkchop was running boats up to Canada. And now this is just experiences for out here. We would be cooking in our trucks all day long, planning for our evening meal. Then we'd stop and barbecue, let our dogs run around and play, and we'd just kick back and eat a good meal. You know, I'd cook a couple dishes in my truck. He'd cook a couple dishes in his truck. Then we stop. We might even have a beer every once in a while. And fire up the grill and barbecue something, or do some poppers, or, you know, which is jalapeno poppers. But me and him had some good times out here. I miss him. He's a damn good friend. Let's see, what is the craziest thing you have witnessed people doing while driving? Again, this is a family channel. I can't tell you. Use your imagination. I had somebody right on the hood. Yeah, buddy. You know, that's how they've been stealing some freight lately. What about the chicken load in Georgia? Which one? You talking about when the container fell over, or what? That was just, I just told about that one the other night, matter of fact. Oh. They were writing the trucker's cookbook. Yeah, we was. Actually, he's talking about me and Pork Chop. We was writing a trucker's cookbook called In Cab Cooking. I started a blog. A friend of mine, I went into a bad depression after losing my son and my dad and my nephew, or my uncle, I'm sorry, my best friend. I started going into a real bad depression, and I had several friends that was trying to pull me out of it. One of them, a friend of mine in Arkansas, she got looking at that cookbook that me and Pork Chop was writing and had me turn it into a blog. If you look it up, I think it was called Cross Country Cooking with Papa Joe. And I put a lot of stuff into it. I haven't been back in it in a couple years. So, you know, if you want to go check it out, that's fine, but I won't be doing no ad lib to it. So, let's see. You still have the info? Which info? On the, well, see, and that's part of that stuff when we was talking about my laptop. That's part of that stuff I told you. If we go redo my laptop, I don't want to lose. Well, son, if you have that information, what is the chances of you doing one of them slideshows that we was doing in the very beginning when we was trying to learn this stuff? Can you do a slideshow and put up that information where they can read it? You'll have to kind of stall out on the pages for a minute or something. Remember, everybody don't read as fast as we do. Think about that. Oh, for the blog? You still got the blog? Oh, excuse me, folks. I'm sorry. That was rude. Papa Joe, would you do us a favor and explain to us the 34-hour restart? Our fine government thinks that we can only work in X amount of hours, which is 70. And that don't mean just straight 70 hours. You're allowed to drive 11 hours in a day. They allow you 14 hours to drive that 11 hours. Now, there's a few fine stipulations in there. This is the rough of it. So, as you are driving and on duty, let's say today I drove 10 hours. Let's say every day I only use up 10 hours of that 70, because, like I said, there's some stipulations in there, and out of that, boy, it's hard to explain when you ain't got a clue what you're talking about. And I don't mean me, I mean y'all. But anyway, you can work a certain amount of hours every day, and you add up every day these hours that you have worked. And when you reach 70 hours, you must take a 34-hour reset. There's a couple of stipulations where you wouldn't have to. That's what we call running recaps, and I have a video on running recaps. So now they want you to have your 10-hour break, and they want you to have 24 hours off duty. Now the 10-hour break, I didn't explain that, so let's back up. You're allowed to drive 11 hours, and they give you 14 hours to do it. Couple of stipulations in there, exceptions to the rule, but I ain't getting into that. So now, let's say you took 12 hours drive to get your 11 hours driving done. Alright, because you had to stop for a half-hour break, so that made it 11 and a half. You had to fuel, so there's another 15 minutes, and you had to do a dock duty, so there's another 15 minutes. So now you're at your end of your day. You can't drive no more because you don't have any of your 11-hour left. Now you must take a 10-hour break. It used to be an 8-hour break, and they changed it to 10 hours because 8 hours was not giving a truck driver enough time to get 8 hours sleep and get a shower and something to eat. So our fine government decided to make us take an extra 2 hours so we had time to shower, wash our butt, and grab some chow. So you must take a 10-hour break. Once that 10-hour break's up, now you can start your 14-hour, your 11-hour driving, 14 hours to do it, you can start it all over again. When you get all of that ate up, where you have no more drive time, then you have to sit around for 34 hours before you can start again. So that's the gist of it. I hope you understand. Now, if you will go back into the So You Want to Be a Trucker library, the playlist, there are places in there where I have explained some of the hours of service. I've also got some where I explain these electronic logs, ELDs. Any bad experiences in the truck stop, being robbed or something like that? No, I have not. And that's something I tell people in like one of my safety ones about your safety on the truck. It ain't no different than being in the city. You know, be aware of your surroundings. Walk around like you know what you got on your mind and what you're doing. Don't act the victim. Don't do something stupid. The dumbest one that I heard of just happened here a little while back, and I read about it online. A guy came to the truck driver's door and knocked on his door and told him there was some guys at the back that was messing with something. They wanted to talk with him. The dumbass got out and went back there, and the four of them robbed him. Well, now what kind of street smarts is that? So now I ain't never been raised around the cities, but I've been around the cities and I've been on the streets. I got a little bit of street smarts. I'd been laughing at him. Yeah, you go talk to him. You know, if anything, I'll be firing my truck up and driving away so they ain't got nothing to talk about. So no, I ain't never had the need for a gun. Now I carry my own stuff around with me. Used to be I carried some WD-40 back when it would light up, or hairspray. Wasp and hornet spray, that's damn good. So you reach out and touch somebody, that hornet spray, that'll reach out there 20, 30 foot. I now carry this with me, which is a flashlight. Oh, my battery's too dead. It's also a taser. No, I ain't charged it in a while. I need to charge that rascal. It won't do me no. I'll hit him with it. But it is a little taser on the end of it that stays right down here in my door. So, and for quite a while I carried a mace with me. I have a friend that had access to it, the police type, not the weenie type. And I carried that until I started running into Canada. They don't allow that in Canada. So I surrendered it at the border. And being I surrendered it, they allowed that they wasn't going to charge me with it. I said, well, how can you charge me if I surrender it? Well, then they want to know, do you want it back? And I said, no, it's unexpired. Was Pork Chop your friend that you got the job and you worked together for a while? I think I remember that video. Yes, that was Pork Chop. I got him a couple different jobs. He's a good man. Sure, after May 1st, haha. What are you after May 1st about, son? Teach them how to run 2 logbooks? Dude, most of them do good to run 1 logbook. Dad, do you have any advice for those that may cross the border, say to Canada or Mexico? Best advice you can have is make sure you know what's in your truck. They don't play. Certain knives, they don't want them. They would probably not like my little flashlight with a taser on it. They don't want mace. Make sure you don't have none of that stuff. Border crossings are really pretty simple if your company and whoever the agent is are on top of their game. Anymore, you go up there, you hand them your passport, and you give them one piece of paper that's got barcodes on it. They scan it. If everybody's done their job and it's in the computer, you cross on over. There's a small chance that they might ask you to pull over yonder and you get to go inside and play the customs game and all this, and they might have a few questions for you. Don't be a smartass. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. The whole routine. Do what they're asking you to do. They're not there to play. I ain't going to say they don't have a sense of humor or they're not friendly. That ain't the case at all. But they've got a job to do and they're serious about their job. Like I wish our country was. You know, they really give a shit about who's coming in up there. As for Mexico, don't go. Period. There's not a damn thing you need in Mexico, and there damn sure ain't nothing that you need to take down there. Let's see. The blog after May 1st? Oh, okay. He's into his finals and all that. This is one of his free nights. One of his few free nights. So then tomorrow he'll probably be getting his final assignments and stuff for his classes and working on his finals. It's 11 p.m. there. I'm heading to bed. Great live stream. All right, son. Love you, buddy. Holler at me tomorrow. Let me know how stuff's going. Let's see. I saw the video of illegals jumping in the back of trucks. Yeah. I ain't seen it, but I can believe it. I seen the video of them finding that truck. Was it last year before? A reefer truck. Somebody started to bring over a whole trailer full of them and got scared and left them in the desert. That individual needs to go to prison. And if any of them actually died, they need to consider the death penalty on him. Huh. 13 viewers and 13 thumbs up. I need one more viewer and another thumbs up. Let's see. Oh, you don't work full time. They pay you full time, but you only work part time, you lazy cuss. Get off here and go to bed, son. Love you. Good night. Ah, there's my 14th thumb up. Thank you. And the 15th. Thank you. Did y'all watch the live stream from last night? That rascal got drug out. Oh, a lot longer than I expected it to, but y'all get interacting with me like this, and I don't have a problem with it. Now, grant you, once in a while, I will start to answer somebody's question on here and get distracted and answer someone else's. So if you've asked me something and I didn't answer it or I got distracted, feel free to ask me again, you know. Oh, you know me by now. Rabbit trail. Oh wow, something shiny. What is that? That's pretty. That's me. I get distracted. Y'all got any more questions for me? What you want to talk about? No, excuse me. Must be the beer. Oh, wait a minute. I don't drink. Maybe I should, just till I got an excuse for the hiccups. Okay. Well, folks, it's been an hour. And like I said, I'm a little concerned about my my time on these. It was so nice talking to you, Papa Joe. Keep your videos coming. It is story time for me. I have to go to bed myself. Morning comes early. Loved your live. Well, honey, I appreciate you coming. I'm going to attempt to do these until I find out how much data I'm using. So then I might have to cut them back and limit them a little bit. But folks, I got to get up myself in the morning. I ain't sure what time it is, but it's getting late. Oh yeah, it's after 10 here. So, love this live stream. Keep them coming. Well, I might have to call on you to bail me out of phone book jail or some shit if I can't afford the bill. We'll see what happens with it. That's my biggest concern. Y'all, I really do appreciate you coming in. This is fun. I agree with Grant there. This is kind of cool. A little bit different than me just getting on here and talking, which I'll still do those. But this is kind of cool. I like it. I'm glad y'all asked for it. But with that, I am going to sign off. Y'all remember, God loves you, and so do I. Keep it safe out there. Y'all have a blessed evening now. Good night.